And it's time for another episode of the Tucker and Kyle Show. So we're sitting here in Hustle Studios with Tucker. How's it going today, man?
I'm happy to be live on YouTube.
Yes.
Makes me happy.
Big shout out. We are launching the Tucker and Kyle Show
YouTube
today
division.
on YouTube, the YouTube division. That's correct.
Yes.
You know, if you've been a fan of the Tucker and Kyle Show from our inception, you will know that we started as Facebook video only.
Mm-hmm.
And you always know that when you listen to our show, we're constantly talking about strategy, where to go next. The show's evolved a whole lot, and that next platform that we're really trying to grow is YouTube.
Yes.
So we got some strategy in place that I think.
Syndication, all the above.
Oh, man, I tell you what.
Push the brand forward.
Yes, yeah, we've got some very exciting things. If you didn't know yet, I think since the last time we've done the podcast, we haven't mentioned yet, but we're now available on Spotify as well. So
big move.
If you have a Spotify account, you can download the Tucker and Kyle Show there.
Spotify is fighting right now. They are actually acting as a label, and they are buying up independent shows, like a 50-50 revenue share kind of deal, and then they're having to be exclusive on Spotify.
And they're really killing it too, though.
Yep.
They're killing it. So, you know, Spotify was music just like SoundCloud was for like the independent artists.
Music
and
is
even
so
not.
cutthroat, though.
It is.
It's like no one fully owns the podcast space as far as like YouTube kind of does, but YouTube really messed with monetization a ton in the last year. So all these YouTube shows are now looking to find new homes.
And so on top of that, though, you know, Spotify and SoundCloud were both music, but now Spotify is killing their podcast product.
Yep.
When SoundCloud is kind of, it's still sketchy on they don't have much to promote. In fact, SoundCloud's on the rocks right now. They've
been on the rocks for a while. People didn't even think they're going to make it into 2018. That's like a shock.
I know.
There's no real way to monetization on that platform.
So we're real excited about that. We're now available on Spotify, so you can catch us on iTunes. Please subscribe to our show on iTunes, by the way, if you're an Apple user. You can download us on the Google Play Network as well, Google Podcasts. You can get us on SoundCloud still and Stitcher, and we're on Buzzsprout, and we are on Spotify.
Love it.
Plus, we just launched a website. That's the part I was going to tell you about.
Oh, yeah.
Podcast.hustlestudios.net.
Why is this so complicated?
It's not.
The domain.
Just podcast.hustlestudio.net.
Why isn't it just a .com?
Because .com wasn't available.
Gotcha.
So .net was the next one.
That was the first thing. I was
sense.
sitting in my parents' living room. I was like, oh, cool, we got a website. And I told it to her, she's like, hold on, what?
Yeah.
So that was
that's just why. Yeah. So hustlestudio.net was available. In fact, I bought a bunch of them with like .us and like all these other ones.
Cool.
But .com was taken. I don't know.
That's a great thing to link in the YouTube videos, right?
Well, it's going to do everything when we're promoting our show, by the way, like Snapchat and everything. Just swipe up. Now they're swiping up to our own website and not to SoundCloud or Stitcher.
That's
it's
huge,
to our own.
man.
So that was my whole point of doing
Because you're right, that SoundCloud homepage, like, since they're on the rocks, it's kind of ghetto.
It is ghetto. I mean, it's very 2010, I would say.
It is, yeah.
And
that's when, you know, the SoundCloud rapper, that was their big heydays.
That's
like
right.
2010 to 14.
Right.
So,
yeah. So we're excited about it. It'll be cool. Just more places to be able to get our show. We're currently working on deals to get it out even more so locally and statewide. We were in, you know, pretty big meeting today on all of that as well.
It's exciting, man. I feel we can't announce really anything about the meeting today, but I feel good about it. We are really pushing the brand forward, and I feel like the 3-year outlook just got a whole lot better this morning.
I completely
Don't you think?
Big time. And, you know, and another thing, too, is it's kind of been our thing. We're kind of branded that way a little bit with the Tucker and Kyle shows to kind of push that traditional envelope a little bit and kind of be a little outside of the box. And today's meeting was very much that. It was very, you know, a unique meeting with a unique procedure on how to move forward.
It's really what we've been preaching all along. If you own a business, or even you're in business in any way or shape or form, you have to be podcasting. The fact that we've been doing it for a year and a half, we figured out what works, what doesn't work, where we need to go, and now we're implementing that. And along the way, even with the what doesn't work anymore stuff, it still was building brand.
It was,
which was in turn creating sales for us in our hard businesses that we both own, you know?
Yep.
So it just makes sense. And all in the meanwhile, we're building, you know, a broadcasting career on the side of things, an influencer career. It just makes so much sense.
Yeah. And it's been a journey. I mean, that's for sure. It's not been the easiest thing in the world.
It
And,
hasn't at all. There's been significant investment really over the last year and a half between ads bought, spaces renovated, ups, downs, twists and turns. But
tell you what, yeah.
just
It's been
show
fast,
up.
though. It's moved quickly, that's for
It's
sure.
moved really quickly, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, I don't know. It's wild.
Getting back to kind of how our show started, last year we were always talking about like the newest ad platforms that are out and whether or not to use them. And it was very transparent how we did it, right? We took Tops, your sandwich company,
Yeah.
is kind of like the guinea pig, and we would test all of these theories on it.
Yeah.
So with us launching on YouTube, I thought it would be appropriate to bring up today, we're going to start experimenting with the YouTube ad product.
Yes.
You could maybe say that we're a little late to the game, and that might be my fault. Let me explain myself first on why we're late to the game. I personally do not like YouTube ads, personally,
Yeah.
because for me it's a TV commercial.
We were hung up on
However,
pre-roll forever.
we were hung up on pre-roll.
I get it.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. And that's why we didn't really move into that. However, YouTube has come a long way, and they have some really awesome products out there now, including Google search queries.
Yes,
Where
that's huge.
people can be searching sandwich catering Billings, Montana on Google.
One day, and then 3 days later, they're watching a totally non-parallel item. Let's say, what do you watch? They're watching the Rush Limbaugh show
there you
or the
go.
Ben
Yeah.
Shapiro show.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden a sandwich ad pops up because they're searching for delivery 3 days before.
And
That's legit.
because they searched for it, they're more than likely going to watch that ad. Unlike
it's
it being
hot
an
leads.
unnecessary, like an ad that nobody cares about.
Totally.
Which is generally what happens to
Yep.
me on YouTube.
Yep.
Watching an ad, it's more of a pain. This is going to be a super targeted approach.
Yep.
Plus, as we start launching it, YouTube has a great cost per view product as well,
Mm-hmm.
which actually throws Facebook to the side as far as that goes, because on YouTube, when you select that ad product, you have to watch the video completely in order for YouTube to get paid.
Wow.
Right now, Facebook just announced what's called...
That's why they're going to win over the next 3 years.
That's
huh?
right.
For sure. That's
so,
huge.
as a sandwich company, let's say you got to pay 2 cents for that ad each time it's served or viewed. You don't actually pay it unless somebody watches
it through.
the whole thing. Right
So
now,
they're selling you. They're like, we know our targeting is
Yep.
so good that this is going to convert.
that's exactly right. So right now, for example, Facebook just brought out a selling objective or a viewing objective called through play. And until through play was introduced, you could only go up to 10 seconds for a video view before you're charged on Facebook. So I always ran all of our video view ads as 10 seconds at least until you get charged, because they're going to, now it costs a hair more, but they're going to serve it to people that are going to watch for 10 seconds. They just introduced through play, which is now 15 seconds. But that's it. 15-second playthrough.
That's all they have to watch for.
That's all they have to watch for. YouTube, on the other hand, you don't pay a dime
Yep.
until somebody watches the entire thing.
Yep.
So
And
it's a
honestly,
good ad
the-
product.
The other argument is, and what we found, the reason why we've shifted our thoughts on YouTube is a lot of things have taken place in the Facebook world. You know, at one time you were the only local advertiser on there, and now YouTube's kind of the same for our local market.
For our
Here in
market,
Montana,
yeah.
you only see, big corporate places on YouTube. So if they see a local person, it kind of gives you the influencer thing. I know if I put my face on there with a sandwich, people are going to be like, this dude's iconic. He's everywhere, you know. And all of a sudden, it gives you a little bit of star power. And from an advertising standpoint, that's crucial.
I completely agree.
It's invaluable. And that's what made it so valuable when we first were on Facebook. And now with the Snap swipe up, same thing. It's like if you can go places that are not convoluted with local advertisers, I mean, it's extremely valuable.
I agree. And now, again, we're speaking to our local market for all of our national national listeners out there and business owners.
Yeah.
It's going to be completely different.
But it's-
Facebook's going to be saturated. YouTube will be saturated. Snapchat's even becoming
But still,
saturated.
the pay,
and Instagram.
I still appreciate YouTube for our national listeners. I have to appreciate what YouTube is doing because they're still telling you that they're only going to serve
That's
these
right.
ads to people that are going to convert. So
That's exactly
as long
right.
as your conversion is there, you can buy all the ads in the world. You know
and
what
I was
mean?
going to say, I'll even pay a premium for those ads.
Yeah.
Right?
They're
Like,
converting,
That's
and then
right.
you
if
have the
they're
lifetime
converting.
value of a customer. So
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of like drop shipping. You will pay any dollar amount as long as it is profitable to get that conversion.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
So it makes sense. A lot of drop shippers are on YouTube. A lot.
They are. Oh, I know. Yeah.
A lot of courses and stuff.
Yep.
Sometimes they're targeted so well. I'll be watching like a Grant Cardone business video, and like Ty Lopez will pop up with a 2-hour ad. And honestly, I'm like halfway asleep and it's very similar content.
You're
So
like, what the
sometimes
heck?
I'm
I might as well
listening
just
through
watch.
for like
Yeah.
another hour, like fading in and out of sleep. I'm like, this sounds so fake and hokey. Oh, this is Ty Lopez, not Grant Cardone.
What
What's going on?
happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Talk
how-
about a strategy though, because like two
I've
guys
never
that do
seen
very
that done
similar
before.
things,
Yeah.
and you
That
can
was-
capture.
That was smart, man. That's one thing that Ty Lopez does is he does not have the following that Grant Cardone or
Right.
Gary Vee has.
Right.
He's more gimmicky and fake,
Yep.
but he's able to slide in there with those really wealthy people as being, maybe he's worth $2 million. These other guys are worth 20+ million easily.
Yeah.
He's able to slide in there and hide with them by buying ads and like jumping into the
It's
marketplace.
interesting. It's an interesting strategy.
I think it works, and I literally
Yeah.
think he was doing it when he was worth 800,000,
Yeah.
and now today, like 4 years later, he's worth like 2 to 5 million because of this strategy.
Yeah.
But it was truly fake it till you make it.
Honestly, that's like the game part of all of this for me is like analyzing those different strategies.
Yeah.
And how to put, from the media side of things, how to put, that strategy to clients, and how to get them out in front of their competitors and ways
Yeah.
like that. So things like that is always very, very interesting to me because I do believe that, as time progresses, those online social media strategies on how to take over that market share from your competitor are going to become even more and more relevant. I mean,
Another
it's-
big reason to be on YouTube too is like all the YouTubers are complaining about the monetization like being cut in half or whatever. Well, if we're recording this on Facebook, there is no monetization.
No monetization.
They'll charge you,
That's
like
exactly right.
That's it.
Not only do we have to make the video content to put it out on Facebook,
So-
we now have to pay them
Yeah.
extra than what we were
And
paying
if you
them.
don't pay them, it's guaranteed the doors are shut
That's
on,
exactly
on
right.
whatever the content is, no matter how good it is.
Period.
So it makes sense for us to be producing stuff, throwing it on the playing field in YouTube and playing around with like titles and stuff. Because if one of those goes, well, we're also playing our other realms, iTunes, possible
Yeah.
syndication stuff, and then YouTube. It just makes sense. If we're trying to play our best cards, and if one of those hits, if we have one video that hits 1 million people because we figured out a title that works and it trends and the content backs up the title, it just works. Everything changes for us.
It does.
You know what I
And
mean?
That's all you need. And also, just so everybody knows, we're not talking about virality here. We're not saying that we're trying to make a show that's going to just go viral.
I am.
We're trying to make, well, I know you are.
I'm always
but I'm
trying
just
to go
saying,
viral.
I know you're trying to go viral.
That'd
but
be
like
incredible.
the actual strategy, though, behind the titles and behind what we're going to be doing to get our show in front of more people
Search
is the
terms.
end game.
Yeah.
And using search terms. and
Search
just-
terms get you, it sheds a light on in demographics that you're looking for. So, like for instance, this video, it'd be perfect. Like I learned this is valuable information. This guy like shelled out to me in the real estate market. This we would be what's the best ad buy, or
Yeah.
what is that? I don't know. You need to type into the
what
Google.
somebody would search for.
Yeah, so you need to type in like the first 3 letters of subject matter into that explains your video, and then let Google finish that phrase, and then title your video as that. The top 3 is really what you should go.
Do you put the title of the show in the header at all? Like, do we call it the Tucker and Kyle Show?
No.
What? Or it's just the
no
title?
one is going to search the Tucker
You're right.
and Kyle
I know.
show.
Yeah.
And that's where people make mistakes with real estate is they'll label it the address. Or, they like getting specific with it. No.
Right.
You want general subject matter, and Google owns YouTube, so they are the same
They play
algorithm.
very nice together.
Yep. And I don't know why I didn't understand that before. It makes so much sense, though. I know
But we can brand our show in the description below, like not in the title, but like on YouTube, you then make a description of what this show's about. And you can
Yeah.
be like, this week on the Tucker and Kyle Show, Tucker and Kyle talked about.
I don't know the answer to that, but we're gonna figure
gonna try it out. We're gonna
Yeah,
figure it
if
out.
we're not connecting on stuff like that, like you better believe we're gonna put all trend topics like everywhere until we kind of figure it out. And once we get one to go to like 25, 30,000, we'll follow that pattern moving
I agree.
forward.
Yeah, it's going to
Just-
be fun to try that.
Yeah.
And see how that works for sure.
There's just a lot that goes into it. But if these young kids that are making millions doing YouTube stuff, they just kind of figured out the algorithm a couple times, and then after you figure out a couple times, you have people that are now following you. So you have a base to build off of, and word of mouth can do the rest, you know?
Yeah.
So once you connect, good content is going to bring you to longevity, essentially, you know? We have good content. That's why we're having serious meetings, because there's not very many, there's not really any business shows that have a solid duo of people. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like single stuff, but you and I ebb and flow well, and we combat each other's ideas in a certain way. I don't know what it is, but it works.
Right. Well, and it's the content matter too.
Yeah.
We're not offering advice on getting out of debt or any of that stuff. We're literally just like, if you want to start a business, here's the grind, and we're just going to let you know what the grind's like.
For real. And it's just very real business topics. It's just legit stuff that we're not doing for any other reason than to just like vent it and explain it and what we learned from it, you know?
On the flip side of all of this, I just see the meter person, and I think I am about out. I probably got a ticket already. Oh well. Anyway, here at Hustle Studios, you can see right out the window onto the street. So
What's
it's like
his name
Fox
again?
News here. Bruce.
Oh, old Brucey.
Old Bruce.
Oh.
Anyways, YouTube, by the way, plays very nicely with Twitch as well.
Oh, cool.
And it's very easy to share content from YouTube onto Twitch.
That explains it. That's why all my YouTube people that I follow are also on Twitch.
Exactly.
They stream
on
Twitch, and they copy it on YouTube.
That's right. So I say all of that to say is that it's been in our game plan to be on Twitch. YouTube may be our natural progression into Twitch. That's exactly right. We can really refine our content here.
We can build a following on YouTube, and then
convert on Twitch.
To Twitch.
That's exactly right. So what a tangled web we weave.
You can't even get into the zone of Twitch, though, without a following.
Right.
But as soon as you have a following, they will accept
Which is going to... So, like, you and I, who are not gamers, building a following on Twitch organically is going to be, like, nearly impossible for the time that you and I have in our day.
Yeah.
But if we build our following on YouTube, which is not limited to gamers, then we have an easy clientele that we can just push right over to Twitch.
I'm seeing, because I follow a lot of the small podcasts in this world, the guys that started like 4 years ago on YouTube with podcasts, video podcasts, are now literally signing for millions of dollars with Spotify's and Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. They're all signing these huge deals, man, and they just built and built and built. And a lot of them that I watch, they have the right subject matter in a very hot topic like that week or that day. So they're naturally hitting the algorithm searches on YouTube. Like, people are searching for information normally on YouTube. So if you fall in line in that first page, like, you're sitting really good.
And what do you think about, like, what you and I were talking about last night on the phone about, like, doing a daily show? Like,
Dude,
recording a long
think
one
that
and
totally separates. I think I'm glad you brought that up, because it makes sense to me. I was watching the Gary Vee, like, podcast, like, descriptions and stuff, and he went from 100,000 views a month to 5 million views a month, just for the simple change from pre-recorded information once a week to everyday fresh stuff. And he still does the chop and mix and put it in, but what they are doing every day is they're doing an intro. That's fresh and it's unique.
I noticed that.
So it gives people the feel of daily fresh content. But, dude, day in and day out, that's how you keep listeners, in my opinion. Actually, we've had comments on our stuff in the past that people would like to listen to us every single day.
Yeah.
I get it, because I fall asleep to the same podcast every single night. And if there's a big lapse in them, I might start forgetting them, and I'm on to the next one.
It's a really good point.
So week is just not quite enough. The one thing I see, the people that do week segments, they're 3-hour podcasts.
They're long ones.
And they put them out in sections. 45
part one,
minute
part
sections.
two, part three.
They put them all out at once, but they divide them by subject matter. So one night you can watch the subject matter on this, next night you can watch on this. So you have like 3 or 4 days. But I love the idea of everyday podcasting. It would be a battle, but man, if we could put quality content out like we do right now, every day, I think over 3 years, we'd really do something big.
This is what I'm thinking, okay, is that we could literally take an hour and do 5 20-minute segments.
It's perfect.
In an hour.
That's
and that right there is 5 days.
That's perfect.
You know, I mean, we're already recording 40 minutes to an hour anyways for one show.
Normally, I really corral it in just to cut the time because I have a lot of thoughts every single week that I could continue forward with, but we've been trying to keep it within 30 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like we could go easily an hour every single week.
Yeah, do an hour, and then we just chop that up. Maybe we have, you know, certain topics of the show that take 20
and then the
minutes
notifications are coming every day rather than once a week. That's a big deal to get Tucker and Kyle notification daily. That really keeps you fresh in people's mind. I just get it. It sticks quicker.
Yeah.
You know, once a week, it just might not stick.
Right.
Their patterns change too quickly to be only putting out once a week.
I agree.
Daily, you get into their daily routine.
Yeah.
Which is a very
Which
powerful
is key.
place to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, when people are accepting you and like actually making the conscious decision to invite you into their day every day.
Routine. And then,
dude, you got them.
And then our mission statement behind it is we're impacting people with positive information that's going to benefit them every single day. So it makes so much sense to us. You know, if they accept us into their daily routine, we know we're having a positive impact.
I mean, if you're an entrepreneur right now and you're in, you know, let's say you're in Billings, Montana, I'll just use for example, because that's where Hustle Studios is based out of, and you're like thinking about getting into Facebook ads right now, and you hear our podcast about how it's saturated here and you need to be in Instagram or Snapchat, that's a huge deal.
Or YouTube now,
like,
big deal.
Right. Like now we saved you $500 a month. you know,
for probably 6 months to a year while you're figuring it out. And by then it's all going to change.
And then it's all going to change. So like that's the type of information that this show is meant to help.
That's a nice thing that we have this track record going and we have money invested into all these different platforms because we have a live take on all of them. We know their history and we know their current state, and commonly we know the direction that they're going as well. I mean, you can really gauge the temperature of each one of these ad platforms like pretty much on a week-to-week basis, which we're playing.
Yep. So Tucker and I will both tell you right now, let's pretend like you're a caller calling into our show right now, and you're in our area, in our demographic where our businesses are, and you say, hey, what is the best ad buy right now in this market? We would both say Snapchat.
Yeah.
It just is.
It works
the
best
is.
For,
it works
for me.
the best.
Yeah.
Especially for, that's true. It's based on, you know, business.
Definitely
and like what
depends
business
your
you have.
demographic, but at the same time, man, when you're getting 75,000 impressions a week, you're running the numbers.
That's an insane amount.
It's got to carry impact.
That's exactly right. Plus, we also know from launching your app as well and instilling the Snapchat pixel onto our Snapchat ads, we now can see how many people are swiping through and converting.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, it's quadrupled. It's
crucial.
Yeah.
And I have to say, in another realm, I mean, if you are in like any business where you should be expected to have an app or where an app would add value, you got to figure out how to get an app, man. It's done a lot for me. We're accepting emails week in, week out. So I don't know if you know this, but our online orders went from 10 the first Monday to 20 this Monday because we sent out a free delivery email on Monday. We already have 180 emails into the account in the first week.
That's amazing. How'd you get the emails?
Because when you order food,
you got to put in your email. That's right.
And
it
it's
emails
an
you the
opt-out
receipt.
basis. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
I really, that's going to be a big deal.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love
me
that.
too. So we're going to do free queso Fridays. We're going to do free delivery Mondays. And it's going to be huge. That's
amazing.
That's the first time that I've really marketed within the business, within the customer base of the business.
That's, I think, been the missing key, and that's the perfect. That's the tool that you got to perfect before the second location.
True.
And that's the thing, because that's implementing those from the beginning are going to be the keys to success.
And when sales are a little bit soft, who can you rely on? Your base, your core. And they're not really going to go in by seeing ads necessarily. The ads work best for like lukewarm customers to get them like involved. Get them behind you because you're likable or they like the brand.
Or customers that have nothing to do with the brand.
Totally. It definitely brings in new customers for sure. But even the lukewarm ones that are like, I ate there once, it was all right. And then they're like, oh, I really like this guy. Maybe I'll give it another try. They try something else and they love it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you have the lifetime value of that customer, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, within the four corners, like a lot of these people are they love Tops, but they're sick of the ads, so they might unfollow it or something, But the emails work, and it's an offer. It's like a active offer, and it's nice too because when we run an ad or something, if I'm like, hey, it's free queso Friday today, well, then I have to offer it to everyone.
Yeah.
This is only to people
To the
that are
select-
using the online ordering platform too.
It's awesome.
So it's so much. It gets people away from calling us too, which is, dude, that's
always
it
a good
saves
thing.
so much labor.
That's always a good thing.
It's crazy and stress. It's stressful. So I'm pretty happy about it. Our conversion rates are going up, dude.
That's
They're
awesome.
working so well with the Snapchat ads.
Yeah.
And the Instagram ads and really the YouTube ads we'll be able to put a link so they can click and order. That's big.
It's going to be cool.
Gosh, that was crucial, man.
Well, it was good to be able to kind of unveil some of our plans as always. Thank you to everybody that listens in. And also thank you to our brand new YouTube viewers as well. So please subscribe to our channel, The Tucker and Kyle Show on YouTube, if you're listening right now. Also, check us out on Spotify. If you're on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play. We've even got more coming. I'm making a hard attack at iHeartRadio right now. So we'll see what happens
You're
there
making moves, man.
as well.
I
So
like
we're trying to just add, add different things for not everybody fits in the same little box. So
true.
we're trying to just make the show super accessible. Also, please, if you don't even want to, I've had so many people message in or catch me on the street that know about our show. They're like, I don't even know what Stitcher is. They just don't know.
That's the 90% of the population.
Go on your cell phone, open the browser, go to podcast.hustlestudio.net. So instead of www, it's podcast.hustlestudio.net. You can find all of our shows right there. You don't have to download anything. You press the play button.
And soon to come, YouTube, man. That's
YouTube.
Really easy place to find us as well.
Find us there as well. So
Under what?
wherever
Tucker
you wanna
and
be.
Kyle Show?
Yeah, we're going to have the Tucker and Kyle Show channel.
Or do you think Hustle Studios is
It
better for
maybe needs to be.
branding and search
And then we can just
terms?
put all of our products out on Hustle Studios that are from Hustle Studios.
I like
guess.
Hustle Studios if it's available because it'll fall right in line with the content that we're doing.
That's true.
I think it'll work well with algorithms.
Okay. We'll talk a little bit about that off.
Yeah.
I have a couple ideas on
Yeah.
that. So anyways, everybody, thank you so much. We appreciate your time and your attention. Until next week, we'll chat with you later.